What is going on, guys? Welcome back, and in this video I'm going to show you one of the coolest features of GTK, and that is a tree view. Now, a tree view is a way that you can display data in kind of a grid format like rows and columns. Now, it's cool because it comes with a lot of built-in functionality like how to sort your columns, how to filter out data, and a lot of stuff that would usually be a pain in the butt to write. GTK comes with it already built in, and it isn't just text that you can display in here. You can display progress bars and images. So let's say you want to make a program that allows users to download music from the internet. Well, you might want to have all of their each song on a new row and then like a progress bar to show, the progress of the download. This would be perfect for that and, a million other reasons. So in this video, what I did is I already plopped in a list of tuples right here, and I'm just going to display like it'll be like a database of people, their name, their age, and their profession. But in the future tutorials, I'm going to show you how to add progress bars and images and how to sort and do a whole bunch of stuff. But before we begin, check this out. You see we have a bunch of data right here. Typically this data would come from a database or whatever. We can't just take this and put it directly into the tree view. We actually need to convert it into a new type of data called a list store first. So a list store is basically the same thing as this, but it's just compatible for a tree view. Now here is one of the coolest things. You guys are like, okay, what happens if I display this data to the user and Bucky wants to update his name? So you're probably going to have to update it in the list store, and then you have to go to the tree view, which is the thing that's displayed to the user, and find what row and column it is and do that. Sounds like a pain in the butt. Well, it doesn't work like that. All you have to do is update it in your list store, and it automatically updates in the view. It's super awesome, so I'm going to shut up and show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright, so convert data to list store, and I'll just write list that tree views can display. Alright, so we just have to give it a name. I'll write like a people list store and set this equal to GTK list store. Now for the constructor, what you have to pass it in is what type of data is it going to hold. Now if you look at my tuples, each row is a string and then an integer and then a string. So that's what we have to pass in, just so it's aware. So string, int, string, and now we can pretty much start adding rows to the list store. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop through people, and then row by row I'm going to add these to the list store. This is easy stuff. So right for item in people list store, append list item. Alright, so all this does is it loops through people, which is this right here, and one by one it takes these and adds them to the list store. So now with that list store, again, what we can do is we can stick that in the tree view, and it's going to be beautiful. But before we do that, I'll show you guys one cool trick, and that is just how to access your data if you need to. So now it's in the people list store, and let me just do something like this. So say for row in people list store, print, what can I do? I just do a row. I'll show you guys another cool trick too. So what this is going to do is it's just going to loop through your list store, and it's just going to print out all the data in that row. Now if you only want to print out a certain bit of data, such as like, here, let me comment these one by one and run them. So check this out first. So again, what we're doing right here is we're just looping through our list store and printing out the data so we can access it that way. And also, if we want to do something like print out the third column, remember 0, 1, 2. So whenever I run this, then it prints out all of the data in the third column, aka this item right here. So there we go. That is how we can access data, and let me comment those out so they aren't So let me get rid of this. I'll put it on my GitHub page, so if you guys want it, but I don't want it to clutter my program. That was just a little quick example. All right. So the next thing we have to do is we need to make a tree view, and we need to say that, hey, whenever we make our tree view, this is the data that you're going to display. So item that is displayed. Alright, so what I can do is just this. Sorry people, TreeView. Keep things really self-explanatory. And we need to set this equal to a TreeView. And what we pass in is just a list store. Alright, so now we have a tree view, and it is connected to this data. Now remember, anytime we want to update something for the user, we don't have to, worry about the tree view. All we have to do is change it in the list store, and it automatically updates in the tree view since they're connected. Pretty sweet. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go through and we're going to start building the columns. So why do we have to do this? I mean, we already told it what data it's supposed to display. Why do we have to tell it what columns to? Well, this is another cool thing. So say that like you want to make a program to list all the users, but they also have an ID number, but the ID number is just for your records and you don't really want to display it to them. Well, you can say, okay, only display this column and their profession, but keep this hidden. Or maybe we can say, okay, we can add a button to either hide this column or display it. So it gives us a lot of control, and sometimes there's data that we don't want to display but still have it in our database, so it's pretty awesome. So I'm going to do for title and enumerate name. I'll explain what I am doing in just a second. Age and profession. All right. And I spelled profession wrong. There we go. I am a moron. All right. So what we do is we go through one by one and we build columns. Now, whenever we build a column, we have to give it a title. And the title is just what appears at the top of the column. And then, just like Microsoft Excel or something, all of your data appears below it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this list right here, and the first one we build is just going to have the title name, then age, then profession. Now if you guys didn't know, whenever you are looping through something like this, you can enumerate it, and what that does is it gives you a counter. So you don't have to do anything like I equals 0, and then like I plus equals 1. OMG, you know what, just enumerate it, and that's what that does. So, pretty cool tip. And I'll show you guys how to make these right now. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make a cell renderer. And this is, how do you want to draw the data inside that specific cell? Now the reason you need to do this is because, like I said, it isn't just like a boring spreadsheet like Excel where you can only display text. You can also display images, and you can also display progress bars. So you need to tell your program exactly how to draw or render the data. Now I'll just say means how to draw the data. Now for this example, remember, we're just drawing plain old text, no images or cool progress bars or graphs or anything like that. So renderer equals right there. So renderer text. RENDER. Alright, looking good. Alright, so now we got a renderer that can draw text. So now let's use it. So for each column, what we're going to do is we're going to set it equal to GTK TreeView column. Now the parameters of this are, first, what's the column title? So it's going to loop through, and the first time it's going to be name, the second time it's going to be age, and the third time it's going to be profession. The next parameter is just your renderer, and the third one is just that counter variable, which is I, and we can use this for sorting. So whenever we want to sort it, we'll say sort, and it kind of gives it an ID number for the column. That's all we're doing right there. And I want to add this. Just say title is column number. Might be a little bit easier to understand. All right. So 2 more lines of code. The first one is, now that we have a column created, we just have to add it to the tree view. So, and that is people tree view. All you do is append the column, append column, column. So all this loop does is it creates 3 columns and then adds them to the tree view. And now the last thing, all right, make sure I nice and organized, is just to add the tree view to the layout. And for that, you guys already know this. Layout, pack starts with tree view, true 0. Alright, so if everything looks good, let me go ahead and run this. And yep, I was thinking of the title and I accidentally wrote that instead of text. Alright, so the text, I was confusing it with title. Anyways, it's me being stupid, but there you go. Alright, so check it out. We now have this beautiful tree view. Now right now we can't do a whole lot to it except click on these rows and nothing happens. But in the upcoming tutorials, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to sort your columns, and this is only 1 more line of code, so you know it's super easy. And also how to add progress bars, and also whenever you click, then you can, you know, have a callback and I don't know, print something out on the screen. So a whole bunch of cool stuff. If this looks boring, then wait till you guys see the upcoming tutorials. So enough of me blabbering. I will see you guys next time.